Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have been watching my videos, you must have come across my video in which I talked about gerund and infinitive. What is gerund? Gerund is verb plus ing. And what is infinitive? Infinitive is to plus verb. So whenever in a sentence two verb comes together, the second verb we either use in gerund form or in infinitive form. So what I am going to discuss in my today's video is that there are some phrases with which we cannot use infinitive form, rather we are going with the gerund form. So we are going to look at those some sentences in today's video, and we are going to also learn when to use infinitive form and when to use gerund form. So let's begin today's video with the first sentence. So the sentence says, I look forward to work with you on this project. Here in this sentence, you might be thinking that to and work is an infinitive form. But I want to make this clear to you that to is not a part of the work here or the infinitive. To is a part of this phrase, look forward to. It is a part of a phrase, look forward to. So here we cannot use the base form of verb, which is work. Rather we should use gerund form, which is verb is incorrect here because it is a base form of verb, and with look forward to we should always go with the gerund form. So it should have been working. So the correct sentence would be, I look forward to working with you on this project. And I am also going to give you one more sentence for better clarity. So we can make a sentence like, she looks forward to go or going? Going. Going on vacation next month. So please remember, whenever we use phrase look forward to, we always use ing form of verb. And I have given you one more example. She looks forward to going on vacation next month. The next sentence is, he is dedicated to improve his communication skill. Here also dedicated to. So it's a phrase dedicated to, or we could also call it as to be. Is a form of to be, then dedicated to. So this was the phrase here, and we cannot use the base form of verb here, which is improve. Rather we should use here improving, ing form, which is the gerund form. So improve is incorrect here. The correct form is improving. So the correct sentence would look something like, he is dedicated to improving his communication skills. Or we can also make one more example. We can also take one more example of this for better understanding. So let us say, they are dedicated to help or helping? Yeah, helping. So they are dedicated to helping others in need. They are dedicated to helping others in need. The next sentence is, she is committed to make a difference in society. So here the phrase is to be committed to. It is not a part of the infinitive, it is a part of the phrase, and it is used here as a preposition. To is used here as a preposition. So we cannot use the base form of verb here. So rather what we should use here? We should use here gerund form. Make is incorrect. Making. So the correct sentence would look like, she is committed to making a difference in society. And one more example of this. We are committed to reduce or reducing? Of course, reducing. We are committed to reducing plastic waste. The next sentence is, he is devoted to help underprivileged children. So what is the phrase here? To be devoted to is a phrase here. To be devoted to. And we cannot use here base form help. What we should use here? Help is incorrect here. It should have been helping. So the correct sentence would look like, he is devoted to helping underprivileged children. And one more example of this. They are devoted to build or building? Yes, of course, building. They are devoted to building a better future. The next sentence is, she is used to wake up early. So here the phrase is to be used to. To is used here as a preposition. So we cannot use the first or the base form of verb here, which is wake. We can always go with the gerund form. So wake is incorrect here. We can go with the gerund form, which is waking. So the correct sentence would look like, she is used to waking up early. Here whenever we use to be used to and verb plus ing, it describes something you are accustomed to or you are comfortable with. When we say she used to wake up early, here I am talking about the past habit. But when I say is used to waking, means I am talking about something she is accustomed to or she is comfortable with. So one more example of this. They are not used to eat or eating? Yes, of course, eating. Eating spicy food. They are not used to eating spicy food. The next sentence is, he is accustomed to deal with difficult clients. So the phrase here is to be accustomed to. So instead of deal, we should use here dealing. So the perfect sentence would look like, he is accustomed to dealing with difficult clients. And one more example of this, accustomed to be accustomed to. We are accustomed to live or living. Yes, living. So we are accustomed to living noisy neighborhood. We are accustomed to living in a noisy neighborhood. The next sentence is, she is open to learn from her mistakes. So the phrase is to be open to. To be open to, and we cannot use here base form of verb learn. What we can do is we can use ing with learn, so it will become something like learning, and the perfect sentence would look like she is open to learning from her mistakes. And one more example of this. They are open to working with new partners. They are open to working with new partners. The next sentence is, the team is receptive to make changes based on suggestions. So the phrase here is to be receptive to, and we cannot use infinitive here or the base form of verb here. So make is incorrect. It should have been making. So the team is receptive to making changes based on suggestions. And one more example of this. She is receptive to learning new skills. She is receptive to learning new skills. Next sentence is, he got used to wake up early for his job. So the phrase here is got used to. So we cannot use here base form. Wake is incorrect here. Rather, it should have been waking or the gerund form. So the perfect sentence would look like, he got used to waking up early for his job. And what is the meaning of got used to? Become comfortable with something. So one more example of this. She got used to living in a new city. She got used to living in a new city. The next sentence is, she is strongly opposed to increase the budget. So the phrase here is to be opposed to. To be opposed to, and we cannot use here increase or the base form of verb. We will always go with the gerund form increasing. So the correct sentence would look like, she is strongly opposed to increasing the budget. And one more example of this. Many residents are opposed to cutting down the trees. Many residents are opposed to cutting down the trees. Are opposed to means when you show your disapproval or disagreement with something. He objected to work on the weekend. The phrase here is to object to. To object to. And we cannot go with the base form of verb. It should have been working. And the perfect answer would look, or the perfect sentence would look like, he objected to working on the weekend. And one more example of this is, They objected to sharing their personal details. Objected to means show your disapproval or disagreement with something. She is addicted to scroll through social media. The phrase here is to be addicted to, and we cannot use base form of verb after this phrase. So scroll is incorrect here. It should have been scrolling. And the perfect sentence would look like she is addicted to scrolling through social media. And one more example of this is they are addicted to watching TV late night. They are addicted to watching TV late night. The next sentence is he confessed to cheat on the test. So the phrase is to confess to. So we cannot use base form of cheat here. It is incorrect, and the correct form is cheating, gerund form. So the perfect answer would something look like he confessed to cheating on the test. And one more example of this is they confessed to breaking, not breaking, they confessed to breaking the window. The next sentence is she is close to reach her goal. The phrase is to be close to. So reach is incorrect here. It should have been reaching. So perfect sentence would look like she is close to reaching her goal. One more example of this. They are close to signing the contract. They are close to signing the contract. Meaning of close to is nearly doing or completing something. So they are close to signing the contract. She is resigned to live alone. He is resigned to live alone after the breakup. The phrase here is to be resigned to. Here I am not talking about resign. When we say she resigned from her job, we mean that she quit her job. And when we say to be resigned to, we mean that unhappily accept the situation because we are required to. Since he had no other option because he had gone through the breakup, so the only thing left with him was that he had to live alone. So he is resigned to live alone after the breakup. So it should have been not live but living. He is resigned to living alone after the breakup. And one more example of this is they were resigned to losing the match due to injuries. They were resigned to losing the match due to injuries. So they unhappily accepted the situation because they were required to. She is partial to drink green tea in the morning. When we talk about partial to, means we have a strong liking or preference over something else, or we have a preference for something. So she is partial to. The phrase here is to be partial to. and it should have been drinking, not drink, drinking. She is partial to drinking green tea in the morning. And one more example of this. They are partial to listening to classical music while working. They are partial to, or they have a preference to listening to classical music while working. Hope you enjoyed this session. If you find my videos helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.